Welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第42天。We got something exciting today. Um, so, at the end of my session yesterday, about that time, there is a new function called targeted sentence cards. So, as opposed to having our reviews show just the word, you can have targeted sentences instead, and apparently it plays the whole sentence every time it shows up. We'll see how it works out, but we're gonna turn this on because I'm actually interested in this one. This might actually circumvent something that I was gonna do later, right? As a form of way of bridging. But I think we kind of have a Duolingo replacement. Funny enough, and it's funny I mentioned that because a little pocket story I have today is someone making a comment about Anki again. But yeah, we're gonna turn this on. I forgot to turn this on, so we're gonna go to settings, and where is it? Here it is. Turn word reviews into targeted sentence reviews. Retroactively, I don't really need to see all the other ones in sentence context, but hey, hello there, Procall. So I'm not enrolling in the dictionary beta yet. The dictionary beta means you can add and parallel dictionary entries, which I'm not there yet. So, but we are gonna turn this on though. So this feature was added yesterday. I saw Phil add it, and Phil did a thread post of explaining their rationale for this. So one of the things that people really wanted was context sentences, right? To learn the targeted words, which actually technically that's how Duolingo works a lot of times. In my opinion, most people get caught up in the way Duolingo gets you to input those things versus what Duolingo is doing. So instead, now they're basically doing the same thing. You have the targeted word that you're supposed to be focusing on, which is what Duolingo actually does. They keep a lot of the things the same, except swap the target word. But since you're constructing the sentences and moving word banks, it makes people focus on something else. And that, in my opinion, is one of the deceptive natures. However, in this case, people wanted to request this because it is an Anki thing as well, where you introduce the vocabulary in the target sentence, right? So they added this, and one of Phil's requirements were there are pros and cons to putting targeted sentences on top of word things. That increases the duration of reviews. So instead, they offer as a substitution, they focus and only grade you on the word itself. That's it. So functionally, it's still the word review, but now it has a sentence read in context, right? So that was like kind of bridging the gap, because on the one hand, you learn by context. That's pretty nice. Sentences are still bigger than isolated words. And then on the other hand, the other one is faster, right? So now you get both. We'll see how it affects our workflow and whatnot, but I like it. It removes the compensation that I must continue to do, especially for the HanziHero. I mean, for the Wanikani side of things. But luckily for me, at least coincidentally by choice, I guess, I still have to complete the Duolingo. Duolingo is gonna continue for Japanese, and I can continue to reflect upon targeted vocabulary being introduced in targeted sentences, right? While meanwhile, it's not happening anymore in the Chinese course, because the Chinese course have ended, right? And this is a decent replacement, in my opinion. It's actually probably going to be even more so because now it's on top of the SRS, right? And this is probably a lot of the things that people are referring to outside of, I don't know, showing your pitch graph and your stroke order, which that's perfectly fine. Stroke order is a little bit irrelevant to me nowadays because I know the vast majority of the stroke orders of outside of like the 5%, right? So I still would want it, so I'm gonna add it in the Wanikani side of things eventually via scripts. There's you can add pitch accent curves that's corresponding with a third-party source, and then the stroke orders, just as me. I've been following since 2018. That's great, Justin. Welcome back. All right, so we're gonna see how that impacts our review session. So let's go over the. We didn't make too many errors yesterday, actually, and most of them were somewhat of a more of a logistical thing. So this one was they wanted ba tone 1 be written in tone 1. Sure. What's the error? Da tong. Da tong. Da tong is probably the definition again. Da tong. 日期 was definition. Okay. That's it for our mistake summary. Let's get into our lessons for today and then try out the new reviews. ED. Now here's I can see a foreseeable trade-off here. Now, learning sentences is very efficacious and it provides a lot of context clues, right? However, in my opinion, it doesn't help with sentence creation. It helps inspire sentence, but you have to actively create those sentences after hearing those sentences. So I talked about this a couple times when it came to like Duolingo and Anki, like other people. I don't use Anki, but other people who use Anki and read a lot of sentences, it does not help you create sentences. That's not the task you're doing. So if you're sitting here saying 弟弟, so 我没有一个弟弟, right? 我没有弟弟. I don't have a younger brother. Like you yourself have to make those sentences in order to be more effective at making sentences. Learning words, like isolated, takes a lot of effort, so it's not as efficient. Then learning words with sentences make it even more effective because there's even more context. That's great for learning, but when you're outputting something, you actually have to create the sentences yourself. So if you spend all of your time reading and having people provide sentences for you, your only source to bridge the output is to use those sentences, right? So you could say, like, if the example sentence for ed is 你有弟弟吗? Right? Do you have a younger brother? 你有一个弟弟吗? Right? Do you have a younger brother or one younger brother? If that is the example sentence or the example question, then you're stuck to that until you actually practice creating sentences. So most of these things are great for learning, but they're not necessarily going to help you practice making sentences. You yourself have to make the effort to make the sentences. And in the long run, like sometimes when you become too dependent on people leading the conversation or like creating the sentences and you're responding, then you yourself are not very eloquent or like well spoken. until you practice making sentences, leading conversations at the expense of possibly making a mistake, being apprehensive, social anxiety and all. Without that practice, largely you're responding. So whenever you expect someone, you go to a target language, you trying to use your target language, and someone, you're trying to spark a conversation, and you're like all nervous and worried and stuff, is because the last thing you did, you spent like 99% of your time inputting. You're inputting the whole time, and all the input stuff is provided for you. So you didn't make up those sentences. It's a great place to start though. However, being super reliant on that makes you complacent. As in, when here's a great demonstration, it doesn't even have to do with language learning. Speak to an English speaker, right? They speak native English, right? They're 18 to 20 years old. I talk to them. They say, oh yeah, well, it depends. And I'm like, oh, well, what does it depend, right? You can't terminate your discussion by saying it depends. I ask them, okay, so let's play a game here. What does it depend on? What do you think it depends on? And the next response often would be like, I don't know, like age, gender, I don't know. That is what I mean by, even if your comprehension is very good, right? If you can read, you can learn, you can understand what people are asking of you, you yourself do not construct the ideas, the critical thinking, the problem solving, the deductive reasoning that's required to engage in conversation while also creating those sentences. How do you ask an excellent question? How do you express yourself using words? Those require that you actually create sentences. So this is great. I love that they're incorporating target sentences. I'll see what kind of target sentences they do, but in no way am I not creating my own sentences, even if I'm looking at this. Right? Like when I'm looking at this, I'm typically asking myself, how am I going to use this? How is this relevant to me? Well, 我没有弟弟. I don't have a younger brother. That's probably what I would say most of the time when I'm talking about younger brother. And if I'm asking someone, like, 你有弟弟吗? Right? That's probably one of the, or 你弟弟怎么样? Right? What's up with your younger brother? Or something like that. You start thinking about how you would use the vocabulary yourself. It's examples, context help you remember things, but they don't necessarily help you construct and output things. I think it's very underrated. In fact, I like to think that most people think of it in a series, and even professionals who say like, yeah, input's going to get you to want to speak for sure. Until you output, you're not, in my opinion, you're not going to be concerned with the nuances of output. Like, how do you express yourself in the target language that you acquired? Let alone, I think most of the time, immediately, it's very obvious to me anyways, that the last hurdle that someone would have, especially when they're self-studying, is outputting, largely because that's all they do. They only input. And one of the telltale signs is you speak to them in their native language and they still have problems outputting. And what I mean by that is not outputting the language itself, like the mechanics of the language. You can probably say, I don't know, very fluently. I don't know, I don't care, I didn't think about it. Yeah, those are great phrases. Those are stock phrases. But the nuance of communication deals with how then do you evolve from that. And if you're going around typing, hey, look, this is me, and then disappear and never engage in a conversation with someone, then I would like to say that it's probably very reasonable and expectant that that person is incapable of, or unpracticed, very underpracticed, or not skilled at leading a conversation. So when you ask a question, do you expect a response? And what type of response do you expect? And have you been engage in conversation long enough to understand that if you ask a question, there are 3 or 4 obvious responses in which you can prepare for, right? Things like that. That involves creative writing, publications, right? Deductive reasoning, critical thinking, all those stuff. When you output that stuff on paper and or spoken voice, that is probably the most difficult stage, and in my opinion, probably the bottleneck for a large majority of people who are learning language, especially self-studying, because largely, in my opinion, they don't even do that with their native language yet, right? I actually think the last stage, in my opinion, in contrast, the last stage where you're using it for other people to scrutinize is the most fun part. It's the lowest barrier of entry. So just saying like 我没有弟弟 is whether it's accurate or not, it's probably the lowest effort because you should know this stuff already. That's where you get to experiment and you get to create stuff. You get to create sentences, create questions and whatnot. It's the reward for all of your learning, at least in my opinion, right? It's a difference in mindset largely because I like practicing that skill. It's the one skill that's underrated, and as so, it's also the advice that's most pushed off in response to the learning. So tons of the advice tends to be, oh, spend 90% of your time input. And my only thought about that is it makes sense, or it's reasonable for someone who is older, incredibly experienced at learning languages, and also incredibly expectant of their generation to be good at this, as in people older than me and or my generation, so to speak, did not have a hyper reliance on internet. Like the internet, I predate the internet. So when I was growing up, the main form of communication is not this derivative, generalized, hyper generalized lack of discussion that is incredibly hyper objectively forward and fact based. So if you do that all the time, obviously, if you're a language learner, in my opinion, 95% of the time, the hardest moment to really get at a target language is probably when you're outputting. There's no reservation or concern in my mind that the younger people of today who grew up on the internet has any problem like taking in stuff, like eventually reading books and doing that. In fact, a lot of those youngins learn a language just to do that, not anything else. But that's perfectly fine if that's your goal, right? If your goal is not to interact with anyone, that's great. But in my opinion, the sooner one is encouraged to focus on engaging in active discussion, the more likely that whatever language you choose to do, especially your native language, that type of skill and effort translates to the target language. So like if you're not sitting around now, in my opinion, already used to using your native language and saying, oh yeah, I kind of like using this word instead, I kind of like saying it this way, and this is the way I say it because this is how I understand it. If you're not saying that in your native language, in my opinion, the odds of you being able to have these discussions in the target language is probably exponentially lower than that. Just a thought. We'll see what the target sentence is. And I think this is the groundworks for what I mean. Duolingo does not help you create sentences. It certainly helps you remember sentences, or like target going to be like this, where it helps you remember like vocabulary, but it's not going to teach you how to use it. And I don't think Anki does any better, in my opinion. Anki is at most a step up because it has an SRS system that helps you remember the vocabulary and remember the example sentences. They don't, and that is a great bridge to consuming more material. However, it does not help you with output. You would have to create that output yourself, like the end game output. So the reason why I brought this up is the small short story I had was someone decided in their infinite wisdom, once again, to write a comment like, hey, my friend, I would recommend Anki. It's probably going to help you more than Duolingo. It's like, well, yes and no, but thank you. And since then, when I replied, that person deleted the comment. So I don't know. Maybe they had some skittish response to it or not, because I was willing to have a discussion with it. I doubt that person was willing to discuss this topic. Like, how do they think it's better or worse, right? Generally speaking, the way I see people use Anki is very, very effective for learning. I do not believe it's very, very effective for creating sentences and or like having discussions or encouraging someone to speak. I think these types of tools are very effective at doing what they're designed to do and not very effective at what they're not designed to do, which I think that is the part that stops in the critical thinking process. Like, what are you actually doing here? What am I actually doing here? Well, I'm not creating definitions. I'm not creating sentences. I'm certainly not writing anything. So those things are going to probably fall by the wayside by design. So when someone gets upset, right? You hear this thread, you get one thread like once a week about this. Like, oh yeah, I spent 6 months doing this. I know a lot of words. I can read a lot, but man, I can't write or speak any of it. Like, well, have you made the attempt to do so? Right? And then they're like, oh, well, now I can pronounce all these words, but I still have a hard time like holding a conversation. It's like, well, have you held a conversation yet? Right? And what kind of tools did you use? Did you watch people have dialogues with each other? That's okay too. And I already talked about that, where some people would listen to podcasts, right? Podcasts, movies, manga, visual novel. But the one thing I also highlighted in terms of like me playing Like a Dragon and stuff is that dialogue is curated, it's written, it's performed. So when you speak, the likelihood of that happening is going to resemble that stuff. It's a starting point. However, that, in my opinion, should not be normalized because you're talking about people who have written the scripts. And you might be thinking, oh, well, podcast is kind of natural. It's like, no, it isn't. It's two people who spend most of their life in public speaking environments and they're used to it. Their talking patterns and stuff are great to aspire to, but your starting position is using that as a basis and being like overcoming the barrier that you won't end up sounding like that in the end unless you happen to coincidentally want to be a public speaker and or an interviewer or a host on a podcast. Like, if you go to a talk show, right? If you're looking at a talk show, the odds of your conversations going to sound like that is relatively very low. So it's not to say that you can't sound like that from moment to moment, like from on and off. The idea is it's part of a bigger picture. Your bigger picture is when you have dialogues and discussion, it's loose, it's not pre-planned oftentimes. I usually plan a lot of these things, so the thing I'm speaking about right now is already pre-planned. These ideas have already been planned in advance, so I naturally do not have lots of pauses and or digressions in ideas. It's largely focused around a single idea because I planned it, or I sort of practiced it. And then there's a blurred line between someone at least in my opinion, myself, who spend most of the time writing and speaking and whatnot, compared to someone who is learning a target language and yet they still struggle with conversations in their native language, right? If you don't like expressing yourself, leading a conversation, honestly, that's kind of one of the under practice skills. Just some thoughts to keep in mind when it comes to these tools. They're really, really good at certain things, but they are also are designed not to do other things, right? And that's most definitely putting definitions into your own word. Have you tried defining a word in your own voice, right? Taking a story, reading the story, and then writing your own summary of that story in the target language. That is a great way to practice that. Have a journal in which you write in the target language to explain what your day is like. Because in the long run, when someone asks you, how was your day? You could say it because you've already written it and or said it to yourself, right? You're practicing self-expression, and that doesn't necessarily require another person. So there are other bridges, right? There are other bridges in this. Like in the future, I'll probably try to do journal writing and or self-dialogue or something. That stuff, in my opinion, are far more bridging than acquiring vocabulary through context sentences and whatnot. So going back to what started all this, no, I don't think Anki is better than Duolingo. I think Anki is different from Duolingo. And use whatever you want, whatever combination of stuff. You could use both. My answer is usually both. When you acquire input and you learn your vocabulary, the next stage in target language is to encourage yourself to create and form those things. You can use examples from immersion in order to inspire and encourage yourself to output something at some point. So oftentimes when people say something is better than something, they're making it like a competition in which they both don't do the same thing. They overlap in many things, and actually they have a lot of drawbacks as well. And usually they're quite a lot more similar or even negligence in difference when considering if one understands what it can and cannot do, right? If you spend most of your time expecting a product to do something it doesn't do, then yeah, it will definitely seem like it's worse than another product. If you're gonna use Duolingo as to teach you like JOPT1, and you can keep hoping it'll teach you JOPT1, but it's not going to, and yeah, that would make it a bad product. It would make it a worse product. When that person said, oh, Anki will help me more than Duolingo, they're probably talking about a specific thing that Duolingo isn't even designed to do. Because that's how a comment like that with full confidence, especially addressing me with my friend, is like, well, I hate to be very direct or indirect, but I don't have ignorant friends. As in, if I was your friend, they would not be so ignorant to make a comment like that with no explainer, right? So I know like friends can be a euphemism for things, but if you're making a comment like that and you're truly helping someone, then I would probably advise you to not make asinine comments about being friends when you know nothing about the person. Just saying. Yeah. A little bit on the negative side, but I'm sure that person's really competent in Japanese or what have you. I think it highlights my point that you can be very competent in a target language or many languages. That does not substitute for form of expression, intercommunication, and critical thinking involved in actually talking to another human being, and probably a little dash of emotional intelligence. Very, very smart people, very, very competent people, they don't have to be very, very compassionate people. They're actually often less compassionate and more detached than one might expect, I suppose. Emotional intelligence come at the expense of being purely unrelatable, right? If you're incredibly well versed in a skill, you're more and more unrelatable. And a lot of times it takes time out of that person's specialty in order to be more relatable. So making a comment like that strikes as me as someone who's probably very competent. However, to me, as a person not him, largely disinterested and very, very ignorant comments, largely because they couldn't even find 5 minutes to watch the video that addressed exactly what they were saying about Anki or suggestion of Anki in the very video they commented. So it's kind of one of those things. Tell me that you know nothing about me and you could care less about even watching the very video you commented on without actually saying that. That was the comment. It's no longer there, but I don't think people understand that when you make a video comment on a YouTube video, the YouTuber themselves who posts the video has an email, could keep an email history of all the comments. Like, it's not like it just disappears. And to me, I am definitely a person who is very, very cognizant and puts a heavy weight on encouraging people to stand by their comments, maybe learn from their comments, or read back and reflect on their comments, because I actually really love language learning, and language is very important, both written and spoken. So it's very ironic, a lot of times, almost oxymoronic, that people say they care about language learning and understanding how to use language and whatnot, and yet neglect so much of the utility of the language, especially their native language. Kind of a thing I discovered. Language learners in my, like, maybe these are bad actors, because this is anecdotal, right? There is limitations of selection bias. However, I wouldn't say that the language learning has increased language competence. Definitely language mechanics, right? Like, for example, okay, I misspoke there. Language competence does increase in people who are interested in language learning. The use of interpersonal communication, I think is relatively the same. I think it's statistically insignificantly different. So you still have your normal distribution of people who, even despite being interested in learning a language, and ideally also interested in culture, right? Language and culture. I consider language as a part of culture. So if you are interested in language, you are more likely to be interested in the culture. And even with that idea in mind, interpersonal communication skills are, in my opinion, consistently disappointing, right? Consistently disappointing, not bad or good. It's kind of the idea of the internet. The internet makes it's a much more overwhelming and consistent influence on the lack of need to improve interpersonal communication skills, interhuman communication skills. If you're right, there are so many ways to express a fact without sounding like you don't care at all, right? Try not to say that you care. Demonstrate that you care. And demonstrating you care doesn't necessarily mean it can't be done using words, right? I think one of the strongest assets of people who are interested in learning language is being able to execute and output, or have the potential to output using a language. It's kind of disappointing that, in my opinion, those people sell themselves short, right? They probably know a lot about Japanese, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know from that asinine comment, right? All I see, what that confirms to me is someone who has no level of connection, or a lack of a level of connection with their native language, which was English, in order to communicate with other people. Saying, hey, my friend, Anki will help you better than Duolingo sounds like a trite comment from someone who didn't internalize language learning. My response, I said, neat. That was my response. And they deleted the comment. All right. Anyways, that was my short story. I hadn't had a short story in a while. It's a little bit of a negative spin, but good luck to that person, right? Okay, so we have one younger brother and one silent brother, right? Standard stuff. 他是我的弟弟。他有两个弟弟 right? These are your example sentences, and I expect them to show up later in review, probably. 弟弟。
弟弟。果树。
果树。Fruit with tree is a fruit tree. A tree with fruit is a fruit tree. What counter is that? Nah. It can't be guo again, right? 那果树很大。
那棵果树很大。
Oh, it's 棵. Oh, that's 棵. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's 棵. Because this is 棵. I mean, this is guo, but it could be 棵 too. 那棵. So that's the counter, huh? 那棵果树. 果树很大。Plant. Let's say, oh, this character reminds me of download. 载, maybe it's 载纸果树。
栽植果树。
Okay, okay, so it's one. 栽植, okay. 栽植果树, okay. So wrong tones, but definitely those characters. I thought it was 载 as in 3. 3, 之 1. 3, 1, but it's 1, 2. 栽植果树。
果树。送行。
送行. So to deliver, go. Or okay, to deliver, okay, alright, that's fine. I usually think of it as go, but to send off. 送行. To deliver off, to see off, yeah. 送行. Someone is to make sure they are okay and ready to depart as you deliver them to the, as you send them off. 送 them, right? 送. Them to the airport or wherever they're starting at. Yeah, to see off, seeing off, saw off, yeah, send off, there's send off. There's also like to escort, but that's probably can get a little hairy. Yeah, to see off is good. Send off. 我们一起 yeah 我们一起去车站给他送行。
我们一起去车站给他送行。
Okay, yeah. 我们一起去车站给他送行。 Okay. I guess that's Liu. 他留在 no. 他留 oh. 他留 What could that be with flowers on top? I don't know what this is either. So 他留等等给我送行。
他流着泪给我送行。
这哦，留着哦，对，流着泪，流着泪，流着泪。It kind of sounds like them tears leaking or like water is leaking from the eyes. Yeah, so with tears in her eyes. 给我送行. Yeah, so they saw me off with tears in it. Yeah, Leo is like leaking to me. So it's like leaking water or leaking tears. 溜着 yeah, leaking, and 这 is combined with 流着泪给我送行. Interesting. 我们在出口，我们在出口等着为你们送行。So we waited at the exit for you guys to send you guys off. Okay, yeah, at the exit to see you guys off. Yeah. 我们在出口等着你们送行。
我们在出口等着为他们送行。
他们送行。对，
送行。
送行。
车站。
车站。Okay. Station. A station for cars is still station or car station, train station, bus station. Oh, that's interesting. That there's a station, it defaults to cars. I'm gonna put a car station just in case. It's a station for everything, or a transportation station. 我需要去车站。我们在车站见面吧。
我们在车站见面吧。
见面吧。火车一定 no already it's not 一定已经火车已经到过 no is it 到过车站了。
火车已经到达车站了。
到 oh it's no 到的 oh it's 的 okay 到的 what is 的 I think it's a different version of it's an extra version of like past tensey like thing. No, 到的 maybe it just arrived in general. 到的 works. I didn't add the okay. 火车已经 yeah. 火车已经到的车站了。Okay. It's still part of arrive. Okay. Whoops. 站
车站，
车站车站
坐下，
坐下 okay sure just sit down is to sit down so wherever is below you yeah just below sit down the direction down 别站别站着 is that 着 yeah 别站着别站着 oh no need to stand yeah 站 also means stand yeah 别这样子坐下吧 no need to stand please sit down
别站着，坐下吧。
oh what is that it could be 几门 maybe 几门坐下坐下 something 看 that's 看 right 连看 I don't know 连看吧
咱们坐下细谈吧。
西谈吧 oh it's 谈 not 看谈单门 interesting 假门假 yeah 假门坐下细谈吧
咱们坐下细谈吧。
假门坐下细谈吧 those are new this is 谈 not 看谈 this is the talk so 西谈 and 假门
坐下，弟弟，送行，坐下，车站，果树，
next lessons 500 500 is 500 yes and they take Arabic 500 kilo 500公斤500公斤
500公斤，
oh it's 斤 why did I think it's ting is this slightly different oh it's probably because of the tail right 500公斤 okay 这个学校有500个学生
这个学校有500个学生。
okay
500，跟进，
跟进跟 was heal plus advance but this is more like together advance so to follow up yeah together to interesting so heal how do they rationalize that how do they make this up to follow up on something simply go to the figurative heel of where things left off and advance it to the next step okay yeah gun using heel is weird but we'll go with it gun to me is more like together so to advance together is like to follow up to the next stage or to go follow up with someone okay advance to follow up heel of something left off in advance okay to follow up gotta go 请跟进 请跟进 Oh no. Simple ones. I don't know what that is. This customer. This is the podium in the hat. We had the podium in the hat a couple of times. I don't remember anymore.
请跟进客户。
客 It's 客户. Oh, this is who. It's still who, even if it alone is who. Okay. Without a radical. 几乎 probably 几乎 or yeah 几乎他们会跟进这个问题to follow up on this issue here.
他们会跟进这个问题。
他们会跟进这个问题。跟进会 follow up meeting, yeah, makes sense.
跟进
Oh,
是吗？
I need a space. 是吗? Is it? Yeah, okay. To be questioned, yeah, is it? If you're questioning what is to be true, is it really? 是吗? Right, 是吗? Or 真的? 你的中文很 What is that? Good, but that is a different way of saying good. 很高 no, 很霸 Maybe it's 很霸 or 很 I don't know. 是吗?
你的中文很棒。
Oh, 棒.
是吗?
It's bung. Dang it. I thought it might have been like something like ba, but bung. 很棒. Okay. 你的中文很棒，是吗? That's not 知. That can't be 知, can it? 那只狗真的很可爱，是吗？
那只狗真的很可爱。
Oh, that is 知。
是吗？
Okay, that's the other 知. I remember this. I went over this with a comment. Someone made a comment about 知. In traditional, there's actually two 知, and this is the 知 for to separate between the other 知 for all the other uses. 那只狗真的很可爱，是吗？哎，是，
是吗？0
0 yes. So Link is in the English manner where he has started. Okay, raining. I see the rain. Where it has started raining. Well, not inside the English manner, but outside of the English manner, where it has started raining. Or maybe not. Oh, it is inside. Oh, that's weird. So the inside the English manor started raining. He sets up a teepee on the red carpet and goes inside to shelter. A elbow. Okay, so I see the teepee elbow comes up and asks to come in, but Link says they have 0 elbow policy. Oh my. Oh no. Okay. All right. Sure. That one's 零下 below 0. Oh, 零下. And yeah, 零 0 right? 0 0 for snacks instead of what was the other one that they had? 小食 right? 小食 no 小吃 small eats for snack. 零食 is what I'm more feel.
零可
okay. Thirsty. Kermit the Frog is in the basement of the electricity plant, terribly thirsty. That's bad for a frog. The basement is full of electric fairies. Okay, that fly from wire to wire. Okay, spraying fairy water everywhere. Kermit opens his mouth and drink some of the spray, but it's not enough. He is still thirsty. Is this the one where, like, Harry Poppers? Yeah, yesterday Harry Poppers got a drink from a fairy. It came right out of the fairy's mouth, and he's like, "Yeah, let's chug." So I'm sensing a theme here about fairy and spraying water. All right, that's fine. 渴求，考科 yeah 考科 interesting. Thirsty is 考科 as a full thing. Yeah, mouth thirst. Interesting. This makes sense too. To thirst for, not that type of thirst. Okay. 求 is like a requirement, like something really needed. So to thirst for something. So thirsty, required of something. And then 渴 to yearn for. Oh, this must be wish, maybe. No, that doesn't look like wish. Wang. Death, evening, or what looks like double dotted evening, maybe evening with an extra dot, and a beanstalk. That doesn't help. I don't know what that is. Okay. Oh, whoops.
可
okay.
零500可
Maybe that's the kanji for hope? Oh. A yearn for something? Yeah, maybe? I don't know. The hope in this one, I was thinking 希望. C is C looks a little bit different. Oh wait, maybe it's not. No, yeah, C looks a little bit different. So I was kind of thinking maybe is 希望, but I don't know what the traditional character is yet. The simplified character is this. The hope. Whoops. Mouse. Yeah. This is the simplified character. I have no idea if this is supposed to look like that one. I don't think so. It looks too far apart. Because it has death. It has death, double evening, and beanstalk. Oops. Mouse hitting hard. Yeah, so it's way too far apart for hope, at least in Mandarin anyways. In Hanzi. What is this? Gun Jing.
跟进
Follow up. 是吗?
是吗
One last lesson.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, not that yeah. Okay. This is new. This is a page? Okay. So, yeah. This is this strikes me as a traditional one. I think the simplified version is possibly there is a possible chance this is the traditional character for this. It kind of looks like it would be. Because these two are still fins. It's not necessarily people. And then this one is often an abbreviation for this gigantic box. And then this is leaf. So they can be separated. Yeah. There's one way to find out if their examples include some of the words that I know with that character in it. Imagine a shellfish being flattened on the ground. Okay. Until it's as thin as a page. When you pick it up, it looks just like the cartoon character paper thin. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Oh no. Nope. Nothing that gives me an idea. Shin Ding Xiang. Nope. One. Nope. Nope. No idea. We'll know in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yoshi is in the bathroom of the electricity plant where he works. He is trying to install electric heated toilet seats. And it's looking at a page that says how to do it. He can't read the page, not because it is in Japanese, but because he is illiterate. Oh, that's kind of funny. Because Yoshi's Japanese. But because he's interesting, but because I don't think I've ever used this phrasing before, but because it's a double, right? It's a double, but and because oh that's interesting writing, but because he is illiterate. Interesting. A web page. Oh, this might. Oh no, that doesn't help. Home page. Oh, that's kind of cute. Ju. Ju. It's Ju. Ju, yeah. Homepage. The living page, or where you live. So your home. And then web page. Wang. Yeah, Wang Ye. Okay. So electric heating toilet things, right? Toilet
Yeah.
seats. Yeah. Yeah.
到
Oh, okay, to arrive. That's fine. A mole. Oh, now you're gonna have to. Ground, elbow, soil. When the mole comes out of the ground, he props himself up with his two elbows on the soil. So that's okay. Fair enough. Good enough. Sure. Yeah. Until something. Sure. Room is sure. Dao. To topple. Yeah, what do you look like? It still looks like Dao to me. Dao. Okay. And then house. Bang. No. Oh, that's something else. Wait, no. Oh, yeah, that is something else. Wu. It's a combination of splicing room with feng. Oh, interesting. Feng and shi put together, you get wu. You take the top of feng, and you take the bottom of shi, and you get wu. That's kind of funny. What is this? A mole.
到
Oh, alright. Dracula in the basement of the barn, where he has been hired as a pest exterminator by the cows, okay? He holds a saber right, in his hand and stands on the toilet, waiting for his targets to arrive. A mole emerges from the ground and Dracula swings at it with his saber. The time has arrived for him to finish the job. Alright. That's fine. 找到 to find. Yeah. 找到 not 找到 找到没想到 did not expect yeah 没想到到 everywhere 到城到出到处到处 that's new to me. To mention no not 知道打到地道 oh that's T yeah that's right 地道 oh what are you to receive 收到收到 the way I remember this one is 受伤 to be injured, to have hurt 受伤 to be injured, so I took the 受 from there 受到 okay 到
到
嗯
年
年 okay 年 which is year. We don't need any of this, right? Because we know nian is nian, which is nen, right? In ancient civilization, they had a tradition that they would do at the end of each year. They would get their handgun and take it to a cow whose lick blesses it for the next year. Yes, they somehow had handguns back then. Well, that went somewhere. There was a little bit of a roller coaster ride right there. Nian is Nian, yeah. It's special. Oops. I forgot the tone. Oh, I forgot. I'm writing.
年
Yeah, there we go. So, Neo. Neo is inside the pawn shop controlling time. He closes his eyes and imagine it is 1 year in the future, and it suddenly is. This is the power of being able to manipulate the matrix. Plus, now he has a whole year's worth of wages. Intriguing. But how does that work? If he went 1 year into the future, does it mean the present him was doing the work in order to get the 1 year worth of wages? I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works. 去年去年 yeah 去年新年新年前年 yeah years before. What about 后年 nope 年轻年纪 I think it's 年轻 dang it 年轻 and 年纪年级
年
okay
年
Yoshi Yoshi in the bathroom of the electric power plant, right?
夜
Yeah. Oh, that's why they picked electric heated toilet seats because of the electric power plant. Oh, okay. Um,
到
oh, one more lesson. Oh, here's one of the few radicals or constructions that I need to look up at some point because this one I have not encountered in Japanese. I know this exists also in Japanese. So these are one of the ones that I have not written before. This top part, I haven't written this, but you can probably guess what the stroke order is. Yeah. Cool. Well, I written it myself, but I didn't double check. Cartilage, huh? Cartilage. This component depicts a joint of cartilage that would go at the end of a bone to attach it to another bone. I see it. I do actually see it, like your elbow. Okay. Cartilage. Oh, jawbone. So the fat one is jawbone. And it's also in bone with a moon, if you add a moon to it. Interesting. So we have 2 more components coming up. So the jawbone. Now you have your cartilage combined with your mouth. So combined with a mustache, I suppose. But an upside down mustache. Wait. A jawbone is but an upside down mustache. Hold up. Is it? Oh, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, they're talking about like the little shape. Okay. This is attached to either side of the skull with a bit of cartilage. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Guo. Right, that's the thing that we're about to get. Guo. Guo. A whirlpool. Whoa. Whoa. That's funny. Wow. Snail. Insect and jawbone put together. Interesting. A nest. Okay, we have gas all over a jawbone. Oh no, these are gonna end up becoming incredibly elaborate. Explain some of these.
过
Okay, cool. Oh, we didn't get the other component yet. Okay. Cool. So Goofy is in the bathroom of the office building trying to pass over a road that divides it in two. A road in the middle of a bathroom. The problem is that the road is full of jawbones, each wearing a tie. Where's the tie coming from? I guess for office building. That run to and from. Full of jawbones, each wearing a tie that run to and fro, making passing this bathroom road quite difficult. Okay. That one's kind of out there. Even for myself, man. 不过 yeah, 不过过火 Interesting. To go too far? To pass fire? 过火 To go too far to pass fire? What the heck? What is that? That kind of looks like 错, but is it? Oh yeah. 错过 to miss 错过. A flatter. I have no idea what that 过奖 To be allergic. I don't know what allergic is. 过敏 Oh, 过敏. Oh, that makes sense. Why my that's what my parents say. 过敏. Or 荒井, 荒明, 荒井. The other way to say allergies is like flower condition or something dealing with flower. But 过敏 makes sense. Interesting. Okay, so
过么
m. Oh, m. What the m? Wait, how's this working? Oh, now I need a sentence for this. But I get it. I get why they did that though for the component. Because this is part like 什么 么, just the sound 么. Because you can't simplify it anymore. Woods instead of forest. Oh gee, you know what? We're gonna put forest. Woods and forest. It's fine. Either or. We got 2 trees. Woods. I know this is also forest, but forest is woods and forest is in forest with trees and I just around the bush. I think I have to put woods for the other one. Okay. All good. Woods.
么
Okay. Mario is on the roof of the electricity plant where he lives in a shack. Okay. Shack that is nested within the woods that grows on top of the roof. Sometimes cocoons fall down on the roof of the shack, making a dull muh sound. Mario then goes out and throws a fireball at the cocoon for waking him up. It burns with a similar muh sound. Wait, but he has a shack. Wouldn't it set the shack on fire? Alright. Alternative, me. And suffix, yeah. It can be a suffix. Me. Oh, because ma. We're just gonna use ma. Ma is ma. There's no way around it. That it's kind of like trying to define the, but at least they stuck with the for something. But yeah, like 什么 为什么 yeah. So we're just gonna go with
么
this type ma. It's one of the closest things to a particle, actually, I guess. It can be the closest thing to a particle now that I think about it. Not that they exist. Jawbone.
么
What was this? I don't even know how to spell cartilage. Is that how you spell cartilage? Nope. I added an extra I. Of course I would do that.
过
Alright, now for the new review. The new review mechanics. I'm looking forward to this. Let's lock in. Oh, it doesn't... Oh, okay. So it doesn't say it right away. So it doesn't autoplay. Okay. So, can I have, like... I think there was a key... Oh, no. How do I make this autoplay? Hold up. No, that doesn't work. I guess we'll read some of this. Okay, hi guys. 我曾我曾忘记别人的名字 Maybe I'll just read it in my head for now. I wanted it to autoplay. Wait, what? Oh, it's the pinyin. Whoops.
忘记
我常忘记别人的名字。
Oh, then it plays after. Oh, okay. Was this Cliff? Is it still Cliff? Okay.
走路
我每天去上班都走路。
姐姐
她是我姐姐。
I love this. Nice. Oh no. What is this supposed to be? It's not energy. Or is it? I don't know what this is supposed to be anymore. Let's see, I have slide. We have what looks like a gun. Maybe a 1. Yeah, I have no idea what this component is supposed to be anymore. Yeah, just a complete blank. But just put in energy because maybe it overlaps. Oh. Oh, it is gas. Okay. Air and gas. And then I put energy because I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that is the gas thing. Okay. um
记得
你记得我的生日吗？
难得
他难得看书。
难忘
他的笑容令人难忘。
他的笑容令人难忘。Their smile. They're a person that you would easily remember this person's smile. Or yeah. A smile that's easily remembered. Or unforgettable. Or memorable.
得 细
Not steam. Did they still use air and gas? I'm gonna add steam. Same difference. Yeah, same but different.
哪 放
Um,
出走
散会了，大家往出走。
散会了，散会了，大家往出走。
做人
学生首先要学会做人。
叫做
叫做
这种语言叫做中文。
一同
我们一同去吧。
Oh, that helps a lot. Holy, that helps a lot. Yeah, this is definitely the sentence mechanic. That helps a lot. Holy heck.
你变细
Okay, we're gonna check this. So Mario is inside the English Manor. Oh, not the English Manor. The chapel. Fighting off
Mom.
souls and dealing with souls and death. Right.
难看
它非常难看。
That doesn't actually help that much. That hasn't. There's no context with this one. That just says he's very ugly. No context. There's no like context clues other than it's a adjective. Maybe. Uh,
分校
分校有不同的课程。
高关门
商店几点关门？
喝
I need a tone check on this. Legolas is in the basement of the English Manor, huddled in a teepee because it's really cold with ice hanging us.
冷
Okay.
小姐
小姐，请给我一杯水。
I guess this works. Capital M.
书记，
我是他的书记。
That doesn't help. There's no context clues for that.
学校，
学校很酷。
Nah, not really. Wait, 学校很酷. No, yeah, it doesn't help. Too simple. Too simple.
中学，
我不喜欢中学。
Fair enough. It's good to hear other things, though. Kind of nice. Whoops.
日期，
你可以改日期吗？
What are you? A hamper?
学生，
我是学生。
Yeah, most of these, it's good to hear like the quote unquote the filler words, the words, the construction words, right? For the rest of the sentence. Yeah, pretty much what Duolingo does. In fact, the reason why it feels so repetitive is people don't want to keep repeating 我是,他是,这是我,为什么,你干什么, all the like the filler things because they're repetitious, right? So a lot of times SRS like Anki would simplify it to just the target word, so you don't have to keep practicing the other things you have to aside. But in my opinion, that's what makes it so that you can start seeing the patterns. So yeah, it's both a bane, it's a trade-off. Most of these simple sentences do not offer any context clues as to what the vocab is. And yet I still listen to them most of the time. At least I don't have to like click on them, so I don't have to like type 我是学生 over and over again or something like that, which it's a bridge. Yeah, it's a combination of the two, and I kind of like it. It's extra stimulation, right? Extra stimulation. However, it doesn't lead you to anything with the vocabulary, right? The vocabulary is not big enough yet. However, I'm gonna expect that Kevin's later sentences are gonna be a little bit more flamboyant, largely because the vocabulary is big enough. Like you can't say, how do you give a context clue for 学生? Use I guess you could write something about a backpack, like the 那个学生忘记了他的书包 or something, like that student forgot their book bag or something like that. Because we have book bag recently. That's a new word for me actually. 书包 is not what I would have thought of. That kind of thing. Or maybe they forgot their notes, which I actually don't know how to say that type of notes. Maybe their book or something. But not enough vocabulary at the moment.
Ma,
Wait. Empress spray? No, this is Watchtower. Watchtower spray. Hose. Watchtower hose. Han.
汉，
Still Han.
休学，
他决定休学1年去旅行。
That one had a bit of a context. It gave a time frame. It gave a time frame for the stuff.
他的车
I need opinion check on this. Shrek is inside. No, not Shrek. Sherlock is inside the beach house. No, that's not it. Wait. Oh, yes. Looking for the source of the. Wait. Yeah, Sherlock is looking for the source of the turkey sound, the turkey word. Yeah. Oh no, it's E. Yeah, it's Shrek, not Sherlock. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. It's Shrek that's doing it. Yes, not Sherlock. Dang it. It's fine. Can't get them all. Or can you?
校友
我是这所学校的校友。
This one worked. Those context clues.
路
Yes.
名字
你叫什么名字？
Oh, right. Yeah, this is you write it by silencing it. Right. Silent. I was like, you can picture the character of your name silently appear before. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. 你叫什么名字？
牛奶
他喝很多牛奶。
Oops.
谁正在
他正在学习中文。
是等
Yeah.
山口
山口在哪里？
Okay.
看来
看来要下雨了。
Infer? It appears? Seems. Oh my gosh. Alright. We're gonna say appears. And it appears. Yeah. We're not doing that. That seems is just not a word. Not a word for me.
科
Not a word for me. Oh, wait, this is a pouch. I remember that. How did body work? Who's T? Oh. Wait, that doesn't work. So we have who does his body belong to? Why am I drawing a blank on this? Is it Xiang or is it T? Xiang? Shrek is in front of the infirmary. Oh yeah, this is right.
身
Chin. Chin.
明星
电影明星
That's actually a pretty... That's not even a sentence, but that's a pretty good context clue. Oh no. Turkey and Road. Jimmy Neutron is in the bathroom of the infirmary. Doing what with a turkey and a road? That doesn't seem right. Oh, he took out the turkey that turns out to be a road to the place, yeah.
静
To advance. Yeah. Right. Podium. Oops. Hmm.
问好
他打电话来问好，
That helped. That one was pretty good.
闷小朋友
小朋友喜欢吃糖果。
This is supposed to be child, but it's more than that. But I don't want to make... I'm gonna add this. It's more than that. It's a young friend. It's a familiar thing. I typed 1. That's a typo. 1 and 4 being mixed up. That happens.
打
I should have slowed down after making that mistake.
分手
我们3年前就分手了。
Break up, yeah. This is a Shrek. Shrek in the pawn shop. Oh, no, not Shrek in the... Hulk in the pawn shop.
还
Oh no, maybe I got the thing wrong. No, I
正午
didn't.
正午的阳光，
正午的阳光 sunlight. Oh, I can interpret sunlight now.
去
This went by something else. Soldier, elbow. I remember this being a problem, the way they defined it. All right to go for now. Okay. Was there something else I... Oh, no. No, it was fine. Never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Not the one I'm thinking of, I suppose.
和好
他们决定和好。
决定和好. Harmony is good. 决定和好. What's good harmony? Or is it to make... No, that's I don't know. Good feeling? 和好. 他们决定和好. They are they feel they planned well. They decided well. Harmony, good harmony. I don't know. I'll just write good harmony. I don't know what this is. Oh, they reconcile. Oh, to restore harmony. And good. No, that's just a rote memory thing. It's just a rote memory thing at this point.
儿 朋友
你朋友在哪里？
上午
我上午去上班。
他决定. That's interesting. 决定. That actually threw me off. So that sentence actually threw me off.
后天
你后天晚上要做什么？
猪
Tone check. Yes.
左 大家
大家好，
出门
我今天晚上不出门。
Wait. Empress tree. Legolas is inside because they want a tree. Yes.
楼下
我们在楼下见面。
What the heck was that pop-up box? I didn't read.
在家
我现在不在家。
歇之别
All right, that was okay. A couple of. It's okay. I think the target sentences is kind of nice hearing all the other stuff, so it's good to hear others. Not as great of a memory aid as one might think. It's remembering in the context of a sentence is great in the sense of getting the idea of like what part of speech it is or where it goes, but I don't necessarily think it's any more like that dramatically. I think it's negligent when it comes to the meaning or the definition of it when it comes to using target sentences, which clearly that's also what is in my opinion deficient about Duolingo, right? The odd thing about this is when someone says this highlights pretty much my little rant earlier about Anki and the other stuff, right? It's whenever someone says something is better than something, it's usually referring to something it's not doing. So if you're not spending time not doing that, somehow it's better. That's not the same. It's not apples and oranges. So much like this, adding target sentences didn't really do any much at all for the definition of the words. You might use it as a pattern recognition though. So if the sentences recur enough times, you can guess at what the vocabulary might be based on some other hints from the sentences, but they themselves do not lead to the definition of the vocabulary. So much like Duolingo, since Duolingo uses sentences in the same way to introduce things, like if Anki did that, it's kind of different. It's kind of the same but different, right? Anki only grades you on the word itself, the specific word, so it's faster. You waste less time needing to be correct about other parts that you think you know, like the particles over and over again, the pronouns or whatever, like the conjugation over and over again. That sounds and feels like a waste of time. But in the long run, it is still something you have to do when you're constructing sentences. But yes, if it's better, it often means faster, but it's comparing apples and oranges. So in this way, it's faster still than Duolingo because you're not having to construct the sentences over and over again, even though you know them, right? Although it would be kind of fun to have like Duolingo integrate mic input as quickly as possible and as reliably, and you can just say all those things. You can practice that. I don't know. What I see is this is, in my opinion, slightly closer to the Anki structure that people like. And then, maybe there's a definition, like someone already commented on this update. They asked, okay, so also please, like once you enter, show the translation and also explain the words some more, right? That's Anki, in my opinion. That's one of the Anki structures. And to me, not seeing the translation and not seeing the tonality and not seeing anything else encourages me to know what it is. But I already know all the sentences. So like I don't even look at the sentences anymore, largely because I already know what they are written and spoken like. And how do I know that? Duolingo. You see them like 100 to 200, 8 billion times every single day. Not 8 billion times, but every lesson you have to see all the other characters and you have to do all the other characters. So yeah, some people might think it's a waste of time. Absolutely, because you don't need to spend your time learning shi, wo 8 billion times over, right? Because after the first or 5 or 6 times, you don't need that anymore. And it's considered a waste of time. So is it better? No, it's different. If you strip it down and only focus on the things you need to know, yeah, that's very efficient, for sure. Better or worse is comparing them in a manner that they're comparable. Can you quantify the use of 我是 and constantly contextualizing the part of speech when it doesn't add any other definitions? Well, in my opinion, neither does Anki's sentences. The explainers help quite a bit, and you do add the necessity of explicit information, but honestly, explaining it and translating it wouldn't necessarily lead you more to the vocabulary than just defining the one target word that you are missing, right? So pretty close. How do I know this? I personally have not used Anki myself. However, I've watched other people use Anki, and they're getting closer and closer. I mean, that's kind of the whole point, right? But most people who use these kind of things want to replicate or add more and more explicit information. And I personally kind of agree with Bill and Kevin. They don't want to mess up their workflow, right? Their workflow, did that change any of my review workflow? It didn't change at all. So that's cool. And occasionally it was helpful. Like occasionally hearing the sentence in its context kind of ruled out a bunch of things. So what is important about seeing it in a sentence, like a isolated sentence, instead of comparing it to something it's not? A sentence is not the same as a paragraph. A paragraph is not the same as a story. So evaluating them, comparing them in that way, in my opinion, is erroneous. So how do you use a target sentence to help you get at the word? The moment I hear the sentence, I know what part of speech it is. So if you can narrow down, even eliminate one part of speech, that eliminates an entire group if you're lost, right? Is that helpful? Maybe not, because immediately when you look at the characters, you might have already ruled out a bunch of part of speech. But the idea is the sentence, the where it is, even though none of the other words are technically related to the meaning, you can it is part of the meaning. The part of speech is part of the meaning. Like the mechanical part of the sentence is important. So a couple of times I was like, I had trouble remembering this, but now the knowing what part of speech it is, I immediately know what the meaning is. It happened twice. And then there was 2 other times where just so happens the other word defined what the thing could possibly be. Like, for example, if you have school next to a noun, that noun has to take place in school, right? Now you might be thinking, oh, but that could be anything. It could be a book, it could be a desk, it could be a student, but that is an extra thing you can combine with what you know about the vocabulary word, right? So when you are missing half, like, okay, so is this a person or an object, right? And then you already know it's a person, but you don't know what kind, where it is, school. Then it narrows it down to either a teacher or a student, right? You start constructing, combining the context clues. I think it is incredibly myopic when learners, in my opinion, compare things based on what they want to see and ignore everything that they don't see. So something worth inculcating for the rest of all my streams. I honestly think it's the same for video games. Whenever somebody comes by and say, wow, oh, I couldn't finish this game because of the following reasons, and I'm like, okay, what kind of reasons are they? And they would describe everything the game is not, and I'm like, yeah, I can definitely understand. You know, I would conservatively say something like, I can definitely understand why you wouldn't want to finish this game, right? And my next question would be, so what were your motivations to want to play this game? And they said something along the lines, these are real encounters, by the way. Actually, they make up like 60 to 70% of my video game questions. The majority, when someone, I asked them, so what made you want to play the game? And they're like, oh, I was expecting this. I heard that a lot of people thought this, and I just kind of wanted to know what it's like to play this game. And I'm like, so is it fair to say that you wanted a game to be these expectations? They didn't meet these expectations. But your original goal, one of your original goal was to find out why people like these games, or you want to experience something that other people are experiencing. So doesn't that mean that the odds of playing this game means that you didn't come across this? One of the motivations is that other people are playing this. So it might not inherently meet your expectations, largely because it didn't come across your attention until you saw other people play this game. So what are the odds that you would be disappointed because you go into a game expecting something that interests you, yet the whole point of playing the game or encountering the game was to understand why other people are enjoying this game? So that's kind of how I feel when someone says Duolingo is better, Duolingo is worse, Duolingo is garbage, this is better, that's better. The first question I would ask that person is like, so how do you know it's better? Well, unfortunately for that one person who sparked this digression yesterday, who deleted their comments, I'll never know. I can never ask them. I wanted to see how deep they'll go by typing a response and it just gets deleted. So it would be interesting. I wanted to know, how do they think Anki is better than Duolingo? In what way? Because their way might not even be relevant to how I use Duolingo, right? Don't know. We'll never know. It's interesting, but it's disappointing and all the same. Oh, there, Omni. All right, so let's review our stuff that we got today, and then we get to play more Like a Dragon. I'm running out of time. What I mean is like rest days too. I'm getting really excited because Friday is gonna be a big day. Hopefully my Wanikani session isn't gonna be too long on Friday. I'm still not even sure if it's the 20th or the 21st that I'll have access to the game. It says that it'll be launched on the 20th on Steam. So that's gonna line up with Wanikani's level up, which that's going to suck. I mean, it's going to suck no matter what, because if I want to play Pirate Yakuza each day, it's gonna run into the Wanikani peak day. I'll see how I'm gonna negotiate that. How are you doing, Ani? I'm doing pretty well. We just finished our language learning sessions. Okay, so this is page mole year jawbone woods cartilage J Ling wait no Ling elbows TP no Ling K we'll check them later. Nian E Dao M 我弟弟松行松行坐下车站果树500跟进是吗？是吗 ？Okay. Now Shrek inside the beach house, looking for the source of the words. Turned out they're Turkey. They're coming from Turkey. Who was the source of the sound? Link is inside the English Manor where it started to rain. Set up a teepee. Set up a teepee and no elbow policy. No elbow policy. Zero elbow policy. Kermit the Frog is in the basement of the electricity plant. Very thirsty looking for or encountering fairies. Wait. Oh yeah, fairies is the whole thing. Fairies spraying, but it's not sufficient for Kermit the Frog's thirst. Neo is inside the pawn shop controlling time, and he's fast forwarding time by a year. Matrix stuff, you know? And we have Yoshi. This is yeah. So Yoshi is in the bathroom of the electric plant trying to construct, looking at his instructions, a page on how to make electronic heating toilet seats. Electric heating toilet seats. We have Dracula. Dracula in the bathroom of the barn. Using a saber to take out a mole to get rid of the pests, right? The pest, which happens to be a mole. Waiting for the mole to arrive, the pest to arrive. Turn out to be a mole. Mario. Oh, there, duo. Mario is on the roof of the electric plant. On the roof of the electric plant. In a shack. With 2 trees. An occasional cocoon that falls. And sets it on fire. Making muh sounds. You really want a motorcycle? I see. What's stopping you from getting a motorcycle? But you need your license all first? No? How are you working on, how's that coming along? Goofy is in the bathroom of the office building. In the office building, trying to cross a road. But it's hampered by a bunch of jawbones with tie. It's making it very difficult to cross the road. And then... oh, I guess woods. No, instead of trees, I guess woods is the thing here. Woods and cartilage leads to jawbone. Terrible, you need to get a job to pay for your classes for motorcycle lessons. You have any ideas on what kind of job you're going to be getting or working on? Okay, so 6. We have all. So to make good again. Reconcile. Definition. Issue. To make good again. Reconcile. 看来 seems strikes again. This is probably the non-consecutive but third time. Seems. I added appears. I think appears is good enough. 小朋友. This is also second time. 小朋友, child. This is more like a young friend. A young friend. 真武.真武. It's a typo. 真武. This was. Wait, how did I miss Steam? I know I got the air part mixed up, but how did I miss Steam? T. Oh. Maybe it's not Steam? No, this is... Oh. Oh, that's red. It's not purple. Wait. What? Yeah. It's being combined with the vocabulary, which is Steam. Yeah, so we'll just make Steam and air same. We already added Steam to it. And then we have Shay. I confused Shrek with Sherlock. That's it. Not bad, not bad. I do like the targeted sentences. It doesn't break the workflow. Like Kevin said, actually. Kevin is very much on... Oh, no. Phil is very much on point. It doesn't increase the burden. And I get to hear the sentences, so I don't necessarily have to always... I get to get reinforced on the sentences, the context sentences that are already available. On all of these vocabulary cards, these word cards... they have 2 to 3 on average. I guess on average it's like 2 context sentences, and it looks like they picked them randomly. So nice. We don't have to remind myself. I don't have to remind myself of all the occasional words here and there. I get to hear them a couple times. Yep. That's a wrap for HanziHero and our language learning sessions today. We're going to continue with our Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It is this week. We are less than 4 days away. Might be even less than 3 days. If that Steam counter is correct, it's going to end up on Wanikani level up day. Yikes. I might have to like wake up really early. Or I might have to start really early for that. Maybe I'll move it. I'll do the introduction and sample it a little bit. But it's either going to be on peak day or post peak day on Wanikani. Ugh, what crazy timing. Maybe I'll break the negotiations and do less lessons for Wanikani. Okay, that's a wrap. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. Right. So for those who are only interested in HanziHero and language learning, I suppose. 下次再聊吧. Right. Talk to you later. Take care. And I'm gonna get up, take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back for some Infinite Wealth. Thank you.